Time now for the Bullpen Show, where we get a chance to warm up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Now, let's head out to the bullpen.
Good afternoon and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and today we continue a very busy week of Colfax Viking baseball with the Vikings playing 3 games in 4 days. Today, in the second of those 3 games, the Vikings will host the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. The Vikings are coming off a disappointing loss to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves yesterday, while yesterday the Panthers defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals. The Vikings are still looking for that first conference win of the season, and they came close last Thursday against Elk Mound, but yesterday seemed to take a bit of a step backward. So today they're looking to take that next step forward against the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Now, the Panthers defeated the Vikings 7-2 in Durand back on May 1st. Now, coming up in today's bullpen show, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Vikings and the Panthers. Then we'll get to know one of the Viking players in Viking Profile. Finally, we'll send it out to the ballpark for some exciting high school boys baseball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to the Bullpen Show on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Welcome back to the bullpen, where we're getting warmed up for today's Dunn-St Croix conference matchup between the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Now, the Vikings are coming off a 13-0 loss to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves last night, while the Panthers defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals 12-7 also yesterday. Now, back on May 1st, the Panthers and the Vikings faced each other in Durand, with the Panthers coming out on top 7-2. Since then, the Vikings have been showing some signs of improvement. At the plate in last night's game, though, against the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, the Vikings collected only 3 hits. Caleb Bailey, Orion Nichols, and Grant Palowitz each collected base hits. Now, on the mound, Orion Nichols took the loss in spite of allowing only 1 earned run in his 2 2/3 innings pitched. Grant Palowitz came on to throw a solid final 2 innings. Leading the way for the Panthers is sophomore Miles Kralewski, who's swinging the bat at .357. He's followed by Jacob Paschal, who at .263, and Brett Breedung at .261. Paschal also has hit 2 home runs. Trace Olson at .238 and Josh Wolf at .200 round out the Panthers, hitting over .200. In limited action, Jackson Weiss is hitting at a .444 clip. Now, leading the way for Durand-Arkansaw in pitching is Brett Breedung, who has a 2-2 record with an ERA of 2.21. Right behind him is Dylan Berger with a 2-win, 1-loss, and 1-save record and an ERA of 2.25. Now, leading the way for the Vikings at the plate is sophomore Caleb Bailey, who's putting up a .281 average with 2 doubles, 6 runs scored, and 6 RBI. Following Bailey is senior Zach Hedela, batting .261. Also hitting over .200 for the Vikings are Brady Elmer at .238, Connor Arntzen at .227, and Grant Palowitz at .200 even. Leading the way on the mound is Caleb Bailey. He has the most innings pitched at 26. He's posting an 0-4 record with a 4.31 ERA. Leading the way in the win column is Orion Nichols, who has a 1-4 record, while Zach Hedela has the lowest ERA at 1.98. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Viking players on Viking Profile. You're warming up in the bullpen on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Caleb Bailey, who's a sophomore here at Colfax High School. And Caleb, we know that you play baseball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
No.
No? Okay. So when did you start playing baseball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
When I was 6. T-ball, and it's been fun my whole life.
And so you enjoy baseball?
Yeah.
Various forms of it?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the most important thing that you've learned playing baseball?
To listen to what the coaches say, because you can learn a lot from them.
And if they tell you that your lead isn't quite big enough, trust them. Take a bigger one.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So when you're not playing baseball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Well, I like to play outside. I like to run. And that's about it.
Okay. All right. I'm sure you've heard about these questions. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cake.
What kind?
Chocolate.
Chocolate cake. Chocolate frosting or something else?
Yeah, chocolate frosting.
Okay, something real thick and gooey. Yeah. Okay. All right. Burger, brat, or hot dogs?
Burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Pickles, lettuce, onions, and tomatoes.
Okay, that's a pretty good burger. All right. Favorite color and why?
Red, because it's a Colfax color, and I see it a lot, and I just like it.
And it's that's probably the best reason you gave right there, because you just like it.
Yeah.
All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
To fly. That way I wouldn't have to drive anywhere. Could just fly.
I wanna go to Eau Claire for a while. Boom, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. If you had the ability to fly, which could be very interesting, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what do you think your superhero name might be?
The Flying Bailey.
The Flying Bailey. It almost sounds like a circus act.
Maybe.
All right. So is there a baseball player that you've watched in the past or heard about who's kind of influenced the way you play your game?
I like Shohei Ohtani because he pitches and he bats, and I pitch and bat. And he just does really cool stuff.
Okay. We're talking with Caleb Bailey today on Viking Profile. And Caleb, I know you're only a sophomore, so you got plenty of time to figure this out, but what are your plans for after high school?
I don't know. Maybe I'll learn a trade. Maybe go into plumbing or something.
Okay. So how about a shout out to the family?
My mom, my dad, and my brothers and sisters.
Now, when people come to Viking games, where are they going to find you on the field?
At pitcher or second.
All right, we want to thank Caleb Bailey for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more of In the Bullpen.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Welcome back to the Bullpen Show. Today, the Vikings, with an 0-10 record in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, will take on the 5-4 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Now, yesterday, the conference had a full slate of games, including the Elk Mound Mounders battling to hold on to first place against the Mondovi Buffaloes, with the Mounders coming out on top 9-5. It was the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers battling with the Spring Valley Cardinals, with the Panthers emerging victorious 12-7. Meanwhile, the Colfax Vikings were blanked by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 13-0, and the Boyceville Bulldogs took 2 from the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, winning the first game 14-7 and taking the nightcap 9-1. Now that leaves the Dunn-St. Croix Conference as follows. In first place are the 11-0 Elk Mound Mounders. They're followed by the Mondovi Buffaloes at 9-2 and just 2 games out. The Boyceville Bulldogs sit in third place at 7-4 and 4 games off the pace. In fourth place are the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers at 5-4 and 5 games back. Fifth place sees the Spring Valley Cardinals at 5-5, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers at 3-7 hold down sixth place. In seventh place, we find the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and eighth place belongs to the Colfax Vikings. Today, the Vikings taking on the Panthers is the only DSC contest being played. However, 2 Dunn-St. Croix Conference teams are stepping out of conference play, with the Elk Mound Mounders hosting the Regis Ramblers, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves will greet the Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran Lancers in Plum City. Now today the Vikings are looking to finally put it all together with timely hitting, solid pitching, and error-free baseball. If they can do that, their first conference win could be in grasp. That said, the stage is set for some exciting high school baseball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of today's Dunn-St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to The Bullpen Show on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
You've been tuned to The Bullpen Show, where we've had an opportunity to get warmed up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking baseball.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Colfax Vikings baseball is on the air.
Hedela rounds third. He's going to try to score, and Hedela comes in to score. And Bailey moves over to second on the throw to the plate.
NLWN-TV, along with Colfax High School, proudly brings you today's Colfax Vikings baseball game.
And there he gets it, right down the third base line, out into left field. 1 run comes in. Here comes a second run in to score.
Now, it's out to the ballpark in today's Colfax Viking baseball game.
And good afternoon, and welcome to Colfax High School as we're getting ready to bring you some Viking baseball action as the Vikings take on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Rick Olson here along with Joe Doucette. Ben Ryder on the computer for us today, and Dan Petchow is going to be handling the camera duties as he does so well, so often.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Dan's right on top of it, and he anticipates where the ball is going, and very rarely does he get fooled with the camera operation. Although I do recall a play last weekend in the Eau Claire Cavalier game where he went one way and the ball went the other, but the cutoff man had 2 choices, and he chose the other one.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, it happens. So anyway, the Vikings coming off there's no better way to explain it than a disappointing loss yesterday to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and hopefully they've put that one behind them. Sometimes you just have to have a short memory, Joe.
Yeah, things can change. You know, they need a spark. One of the things I think, Rick, is they got to get off to a better start. You know, it seems like they're always playing from behind, and I'd like to see them get the lead today.
And you could see their heads drop just a little bit when the Wolves got the 3-run lead in the first inning, and so hopefully the Vikings can keep that from happening today. The Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, and I'll be darned if I can remember the score. I want to say it was 14-7. Winners yesterday over the Spring Valley Cardinals, and we're having microphone plug-in issues, but everything is okay meter-wise, so we're okay. Anyway, Joe, why don't you tell us who's playing in today's game?
You bet. For Coach Tony Hansen and the Durand Panthers. Leading off, playing center field, Luke Weber. Batting second, playing right field, Trace Olson. Batting third and playing shortstop, Brett Brydong. Batting fourth, playing third base, Jacob Paschal. Batting fifth, playing catcher, Aiken Fuentes. Batting sixth, playing left field, Jackson Weiss. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, Miles Kraleski. And I guess he's batting seventh. Batting eighth, second baseman, Landon Lindstrom. And batting ninth, pitching, Dylan Berger. Playing first base, Carlin Pfeiffer. For Coach Ben Anderson and the Colfax Vikings, leading off, playing center field, Drew Beekner. Batting second and doing the pitching, Caleb Bailey. Batting third, designated hitter, Zach Hedela. Batting fourth, playing first base, Brady Elmer. Batting fifth, catching, Rob Holman. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Connor Arntzen. Batting seventh, playing left field, Orion Nichols. Batting eighth, playing third base, Grant Cook. Batting ninth, playing second base, Grant Palowitz. And playing right field, Grant Paulus.
Very good. And the umpires for today's game, as they're having the meeting out at home plate right now with the managers, Tom Ryder will be calling balls and strikes, and Bob Neville is going to be out on the bases. So Tom Reuter, not to be confused with Ben Ryder. Whole different vowel in there, right, Ben? And Ben's nodding, yep, okay. And while we wait for them to get everything taken care of, we're going to take this brief time out as you're tuned to Viking Baseball on NLWN-TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 18th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Hudson River Rats from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 18th on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. as they're just about to wrap up the conference at home plate, going over the ground rules. And I suspect we're about to get the starting lineups from the public address announcer and national anthem and so on. And I think that's going to be what they do. And I'm looking over to see, I know he's trying to tune the national anthem cut that he has. Yeah, he found it. And we'll turn things over to Jason Nichols as he's getting ready to give the starting lineups.
All right, good evening. Welcome to tonight's matchup between the Durand Panthers and the Colfax Vikings. The starting lineup for the Panthers tonight. Batting first and playing center field, Luke Weber. Batting second, playing right field, Trace Olson. Batting third and playing shortstop, Bry Dung. Batting fourth and playing third base, Jacob Paschel. Thank you. Batting fifth and doing the catching, Aiken Fuentes. Playing left field and batting sixth, Jackson Weiss. The designated hitter batting seventh, Miles Kroleski. Playing second base and batting eighth, Landon Lindstrom. And pitching tonight, batting ninth, Dylan Berger. And playing first base is Carlin Pfeiffer. Now for your Colfax Vikings. Batting first, playing center field, Drew Baitner. Batting second and pitching, Caleb Bailey. The designated hitter tonight, Zach Hedela. Batting fourth and playing first, Brady Elmer. Batting fifth and doing the catching, Rob Holman. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, Connor Arnson. Batting seventh, playing left field, Orion Nichols. Batting eighth and playing third base, Grant Cook. Batting ninth, playing second base, Grant Pelowitz. And playing right field tonight is Grant Paulus. Now if everyone can rise if able and remove your caps. The flag is located out in the left field corner.
And that's the playing of our national anthem here at Colfax High School, along with player introductions. Today is Parents' Night for the Vikings, and they will have an introduction of the parents after the game. And our very own camera person, Dan Petshaw, is going to be doing the MC duties for the parents' introduction. On the mound tonight for the Vikings is Caleb Bailey, and he has had a pretty good season pitching, although his record doesn't show it. He's had some rotten luck, but he's had real effective pitching.
Yeah, we like him. You know, he's got that nice curveball and generally gets ahead, and I think if we can make all the plays, we'll have a great chance tonight.
I was talking with Coach Jensen. Most pitchers will use a fastball to set up the curve. Bailey actually does it the other way around. He uses curveball to set up the fastball, and he's been pretty effective with it. Taking a look at the Vikings defensively, it's Cook over at third base, Arnson at short, Palowitz is at second, Elmer at first, Holman behind the plate, Bailey on the mound, and in the outfield it goes Nichols, Beekner, Paulus going from left to right. Waiting for Luke Weber to step into the batter's box and get things started for us here. Weber has a batting average of .048. On base percentage of .200. That pitch is outside for a ball. Bailey fires. And that one missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's a fly ball out into right field. Paulus coming in, and he makes a catch. So 1 out, and that's going to bring up Trace Olson. And Olson's batting .238. Bailey winds and delivers. Ground ball over to third. Cook has it, throws it over to first. It's in time for the out. That's going to bring up Brett Breidung. And Breidung is batting .261. And the first pitch. He swung at a high curveball, foul back out of play. That one found somebody's vehicle on the bounce. So the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He swung at one down in the dirt.
That's that curveball.
Yeah, it looks fat and easy as it's coming in, and then the bottom just drops right out of it.
Yeah, that's a great pitch.
That was about 59.5 feet long. Fastball laced out into right field for a base hit.
No, I think
it's going to roll. Oh, foul ball.
I think Caleb might have got a little too much of the plate there on the 0-2.
That's nothing more than a loud strike, though.
Yeah.
Still no balls, 2 strikes.
Like to see
2
that
down.
curveball again.
Here's the wind, and here it comes. And it's fouled on the left side that time. Bailey looking in for the sign. Goes into his motion. And there's a ground ball over to short. Picked up by Arntzen. Throw to first is in time. A 9-pitch inning for Caleb Bailey. That's a nice efficient start for the Vikings. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. And after a half inning, it's Durand-Arkansaw 0 and the Vikings coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Our goal at Woods Run Forest Products is the same today as it was when we started back in 1978. That is, to produce lumber products that best fit the customer's needs. We can achieve that goal by utilizing local talent and local timber to fit customers' needs. Whether you're a commercial contractor or a do-it-yourselfer. Check out the products available at Woods Run Forest Products in Colfax.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
So we're going to head into the bottom of the first inning. No score from Colfax.
Yeah, great top of the first for the Vikings.
Caleb Bailey had pretty nice control and worked his curveball in and out and set it up nicely, and he got it to pay off. Yeah. He didn't get any strikeouts, but ground balls to the infield, routine fly ball out to right field.
Yeah, now they got to string some hits together and get some runs.
Taking a look at the Panthers defensively, Paschal is at third, Breidung at short, Lindstrom at second, Pfeiffer is at first, Fuentes behind the plate. It's Weiss, Weber, and Olsen out in the outfield. Berger on the mound, Dylan Berger. And leading off for the Vikings is Drew Buechner, batting 194. He's kind of been struggling a little bit. And there's the first pitch called, strike at the knees. I don't know if it's struggling or just rotten luck. He's hitting the ball right at people.
I would say this the later.
Here's the pitch. There's a hard shot. Fair ball down into the corner in left field. Buechner rounds first, and he's going to chug into second with a leadoff double. So much for rotten luck.
Yeah. Now we've been waiting for him to get hot.
Now they're going to bring up Caleb Bailey. Bailey leading the team in hitting, batting 281.
You know, again, get him to third somehow. Base hit would be great, but get him to third.
And the pitch fouled off the mask. Berger into his motion. Ground ball over to short. Scoops it up, throw to first. And they got Bailey at first, but it advanced Buechner to third. And it comes in to score. They weren't paying attention, as was I.
Yeah.
And he came in to score.
No, the throw got away from the first baseman to the pitcher.
So that's going to be an error on the first baseman?
I believe so.
That brought Buechner in to score, and Vikings take a 1-0 lead. Zach Hedela stepping to the plate.
That's that good start we talked about.
You manufacture runs, take them any way you can get them. And that's what the Vikings have needed. Some luck like that.
Yeah.
There's the pitch. Hard smash ball out into right center field. It's going to go back to the fence. Heedle rounds first and heads into second. He's going to try for three. Here comes the throw, and they got him. So Heedle gets credit for a double, and he's out 9-6-5.
You know, Durand had to do everything right, and, you know, 2 great relays. I don't mind that at all.
No, and he was just in the process of trying to make something happen. And a ground ball, throw over to first, and they got him. That was Brady Elmer.
Yeah, Landon Lindstrom, nice play.
So for the Vikings, 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and nobody left on base. We've played an inning, and it's the Vikings 1 and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum. Located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And this reminder that the summer hours for the Chippewa Valley Museum are going to begin on May 31st. Check out the website at cvmuseum.com for more information. Also, this reminder that the exhibit Anderson to Yang, along with the traveling exhibit Rocks and Hard Places, which is on loan from the Vesterheim Museum in Decorah, Iowa, it's going to continue right on through the end of August. Make sure you get over to the Chippewa Valley Museum in Carson Park in Eau Claire and check out those 2 exhibits. If you are a military member, National Guard or reservist as well, from Armed Forces Day right through Labor Day, those members get free admission to the museum. Jacob Paschal coming to bat for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers to start things off in the top of the second. And he hits a pop foul out of play. Well, Caleb Bailey just needs to stay efficient. That one's a 59.5-foot curveball. Bailey fires. That one's down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Bailey into his motion, and he delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Kind of pulled the string on that one. Paschal was out in front of it. Bailey winds in the 2-2 pitch. Curve ball down the third base line. Cook picks it up, throws it over to first, and they got him. Nice. That was a nice steady play by Grant Cook.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that last year.
And it's going to bring up Fuentes. Aiken Fuentes. He's batting 176. Check swing foul on the first base line.
Again, another first pitch strike, which is super important.
Especially in a situation like Caleb Bailey where he's working with the curveball and setting it up. Pitching from ahead makes that a whole lot more effective. That one's down low for a ball. He goes into his motion and delivers. There's a fly ball out into center field. Beekner underneath it, and he makes a catch. You could see absolutely no panic in the expression of Drew Beekner.
Yeah.
He just kind of ranged underneath the ball and made the catch.
He's playing a good center field.
Jackson Weiss coming to the plate. The left fielder. And there's a strike at the letters. That's the curveball. Weiss batting .444. He's only had 9 at-bats this season, though. And foul off. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Bailey's got a lot of options now. 0-2. Let's see what he does.
I'll bet this one's going to be near the zone, but not in it.
You want to make it look like a strike.
Here's the pitch. Just a little bit high.
Good pitch.
That was real near the zone.
Yeah, good pitch. Good pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think it's going to be that curveball. Nope.
And that was fastball just a little low. Ooh. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Maybe strike 4.
And here's the pitch. Curveball inside, fills up the count. Two down.
Needs a strike here. Don't want to walk anybody.
Goes into his motion and he delivers. Strike 3 called.
Good pitch.
He fooled him with that low heater that time, and no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played an inning and a half, and it's Vikings 1, Panthers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The teen years are a great time for your child to gain practical experience in managing finances. Perhaps he or she already has a summer job lined up. A free checking account at Derry State Bank can help teens learn to set a budget, track spending, use a debit card, make deposits, and more. Plus, parents are account co-owners and have the ability to supervise the learning process. Give us a call today. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Back here at Colfax High School, heading into the bottom of the second inning. Rob Holman stepping to the plate for the Vikings. Holman batting .143, had a really hot day over against Elk Mound back on Thursday. First pitch is outside. Had a 2-hit outing.
He's got a ton of potential.
Sometimes it's hard to remember he's only a freshman.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit low. There's the wind and the 2-0 pitch. There's a hard shot foul down the third baseline. That was only about a 1.5 foot foul.
Yeah, hit it pretty hard.
2 balls and 1 strike now. Berger winds, and he delivers. That's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitter's pitch right now. And the pitch. There's a pop-up out into the outfield. It's going to fall in for a base hit. And Holman singles to center field. Little Texas leaguer Well, we might be the opposite of Texas as far as we're way north and they're way south, but we'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll call that a Wisconsin leaguer.
I like it.
Connor Arnson, batting .227. And there's a called strike, about mid-thigh. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside for a ball.
You know, we talked about making plays and then stringing some hits together. Let's see if we can do the stringing the hits part.
And the pitch. Chop foul. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Curveball popped up. Foul territory on the right side. And it's going to find the dirt over there on the warning track. Count remains 1-2. Holman takes his lead at first. And the pitch. Foul back. Connor Arnson hanging pretty tough.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want a called third strike here, Rick. You got to get after anything close.
Oh, I agree with you so much there, Joe. Swing and a miss
Good
for
pitch.
strike 3. But you're absolutely right. He didn't go down looking. You don't want to look at it and leave it in the umpire's hands.
Yeah.
Brings up Orion Nichols.
Here's another guy capable of getting hot.
So far this year, he's batting .143.
Yeah,
he did get a hit yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to rise.
Swing and a miss, heading down to second, and they got Holman trying to steal second. So 2 down. 0-1 is the count. And a strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. There's the 1-2 pitch. There's a base hit out into right center field. That's going to bring up Grant Cook. And Cookie's batting .160.
He's another guy that could warm up here.
He's got some power behind those arms, too.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first. 2 down. Nichols with his lead. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Good swing.
Berger shook off the first one, and now the pitch. Fouled. It's out of play. Somebody's little red car is getting a beating over there.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Curveball outside.
My bike is safe.
And my car is parked practically in Montana from here, so. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So for the Vikings in the second inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 2, and the Vikings have the lead 1-0 on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 18th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Hudson River Rats from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 18th on NLWN-TV.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 15th when the Vikings host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 15th.
Heading into the top of the third inning, Miles Kraleski.
Yep. Designated hitter.
And he's the designated hitter. It's going to be followed by Landon Lindstrom and Dylan Berger. 7, 8, 9 in the Panthers lineup.
Bailey's got to keep getting ahead, pitching to soft contact.
And the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Kraleski's a sophomore, and he follows that one back into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fouled back again. Time he chased one, I think that was out of the zone. But that's a good example. He's doing it right. He's got 2 strikes on him, and if it's anywhere near, you got to protect.
Yep, good pitch by Bailey, too.
Strike 3 called. That's the second strikeout for Bailey. Brings up Landon Lindstrom, the second baseman. Lindstrom batting 190, and he looks at one for strike 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fly ball, shallow right field. Beekner coming on hard, and he couldn't make the catch. Base hit for Landon Lindstrom. That was a long way to go.
I actually think Grant Paulus got his hands on it, but he come a long way also. I could be wrong.
There's a ground ball over to second, and he throws it over to short for the force out. So give Berger a fielder's choice.
Yep, 4-6 on the putout.
Yep. Back to the top of the order, Luke Weber looks at one outside. He flew out to right field his first time up. And the throw over to first. Not in time.
You know, Weber, another great athlete, does a lot of things well.
And the pitch. There's a hard smash to short. Throw over to first in time.
Nice play, Connor Arntzen.
So, for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 2.5, and it's the Vikings 1, the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Bowling, America's pastime. From enjoying family fun to participating in a league, bowling is a central part of our culture. Let Viking Bowl and Lounge help you introduce bowling to your family. They offer a full menu, as well as drinks and activities to please all ages. That's the Viking Bowl and Lounge on Main Street in Colfax. Call 715-962-3252.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Due up for the Vikings, Grant Palowitz, and then back to the top of the order, Drew Beekner, Caleb Bailey. Vikings have 1 run on 4 hits. That's already more hits than they had all yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good at-bats early, Rick.
If they can keep that up.
Yep. Keep playing D.
You know, you almost have to play every play, especially in the infield, like it's the first play of the game with that focus that you have in the first play of the game.
Yeah.
Because the minute you assume that it's going to be routine,
Yeah.
that's when the ball scoots under your glove or, you know, something crazy happens.
Yeah. I've had a lot of good coaches, and you stack information and where you're going, how many outs, and get ready every play.
Grant Palowitz looks at the first pitch, which was about a 57-footer. Took a little skip in the dirt. Berger starts his motion. And a pop foul out of play. And off the red car again.
Yeah.
I hope they have a friendly body shop. Here's the wind in the pitch. That was inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to Grant Palowitz. He came up with a hit yesterday.
Yeah, good athlete.
And there's another pop foul out of play.
Lynn's going to push that out.
That was off a silver car. There's the wind in the pitch. There's a line shot over to second base, throw to first, and they got Palowitz. He hit it right on the nose, but he hit it right over to Lindstrom at second, who flipped it to Pfeiffer. So there's 1 out. Back to the top of the order, Drew Beekner.
And let's see if he can have one of them big days, 3-4 hits.
First pitch is a called strike. He doubled to left his first time up. Here's the pitch. Curveball missed.
Yep, a little high.
Boy, he sure pulls the string on that curveball. It's almost like an ephus pitch. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike at the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball missed.
Yeah, not by much. Good take.
Almost came down and got that back part of the plate.
Yeah.
Berger shook off a sign. Now he delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down. Caleb Bailey comes up. Grounded to short his last trip to the plate.
I think Drew let a couple go that he might have been able to get a good swing on.
And I think that's a symbol of the kind of year that he's had. He's frustrated with the... There's a shot by Bailey out into center field for a base hit. Good, clean, solid base hit by Caleb Bailey.
Yeah.
But back to Buechner, he's had such rotten luck that he's lost a little bit of confidence at the plate, and he tends to look at some pitches that he normally would be going after.
Yeah, I agree.
This brings up Zach Hedela, doubled to center field and was thrown out trying to extend it into a triple. And the pitch, and he laced that one out into center field. So Hedela has a 2-hit day. Bailey at second.
Yeah, he hit that hard, Rick. 2 great swings. That's a great sign for Hedela. Fighting injuries and...
I know why. His girlfriend isn't here today.
Yeah, it could be.
It takes the pressure off him.
Could be.
Brady Elmer at the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
She's an awful good girl, though.
Yeah, she is. She's a lot of help for us. She trained Ben in some things yesterday. Here's the pitch. High pop-up foul out of play. Look out, red car. Was kind of headed that direction.
Yeah. Big spot for Elmer.
No balls, 2 strikes to Brady Elmer. Curveball got away from him that time. Berger at the belt. And the 1-2 pitch. Pop foul out of play. Straight back that time. Count holds at 1-2. Runners take their leads. And a ground ball over towards second. Flip to first. And Brady Elmer is out 4-3. So for the Vikings, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 were left on base. We've played 3 innings, and the score remains Vikings 1 and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Shocking as it may seem, electricity doesn't always do what you want. When that happens to you, call Clucas Electric. Clucas Electric can take care of anything from a bad light switch, remodels, new construction, or replacing the main service on your home. Plus, Clucas Electric is now the authorized service provider for Briggs & Stratton home generators. So, for all your electrical needs, call Clucas Electric at 715-651-5064. That's Clucas Electric in Colfax.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp, Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
Heading into the top of the fourth inning, I do want to remind you that the summer hours for the Chippewa Valley Museum get started at the end of the month. Check out cvmuseum.com for more information on those summer hours. Lots to see and do at the Chippewa Valley Museum in Carson Park. Leading off for the Panthers in the top of the fourth, Trace Olson, who grounded to third his first time up. He'll be followed by Brett Breidung and Jacob Paschal.
Great game so far, Rick.
Yeah, the one-run lead is nice.
Yeah, well played.
And it's a ground ball over to second. Arnson can't find the handle. Throw to first. It's not going to be in time. It kind of got hung up between the glove and the shirt that time.
Kind of an in-between hop.
Still has to go in the book as an E6.
Yeah. I've made a few of them in my day. Yeah.
He did a nice job of keeping it with him and not letting anything, you make a really bad error and he's going to be over on second. Throw down to second. It's not in time. So Olson steals second. One ball, no strikes to Brett Breidung. Breidung grounded to short his last time up. And he does it again. This time the throw to first is in time. Throw over to third, and they say they got him? No. They say he's safe.
Under the tag.
So, Breidung grounds out 6-3, and Olson is safe at third. It was a very close play. Slid under the tag because that ball was there in time.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up Jacob Paschal. So the Panthers have what they were hoping for, a runner on third with less than 2 outs. And there's a strike called to Paschal. Paschal grounded to third his last time up. Got to hand it to Connor Arnson. He did a nice job of checking the runner before throwing. And a chopper foul right around the plate area. No balls, 2 strikes. Strikeout right now would be really big.
Good time for that curveball, I think.
Here's the pitch. That's what he gave him. Ground ball to third, and it gets by. And out into left field, and in to score comes Olson.
Yeah, good piece of hitting.
So that evens the score up at 1 apiece. Aiken Fuentes coming to the plate. He flew out to center field his last time up. 1 down. Ground ball over to short, throw to first. And he's safe. It got by Elmer. And Paschal heads over to third. Fuentes stays at first. The throw was down low.
Yeah. I thought maybe he could have got the out at second, but it'd have been close.
Oh, we have a courtesy runner coming in. As we have a conference at the mound. Landon Lindstrom. Oh, okay. I don't know who 8 is. Because we've got that listed as Landon Lindstrom on our roster. And the pitch. Strike called. Runner takes second. Fuentes is over at second. There's a pop foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3. 2 down.
Yep, big strikeout.
Runner on second, and that's going to bring up Miles Kraleski, and he struck out looking his first time up.
Yeah. Big spot for the catcher, too. He's got to keep the ball in front of him. And
runners at second and third. Pop foul. That one's out of play. Bailey at the belt. And the pitch. Curveball strike at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high. That's a breaking ball that didn't break. It's not the worst thing in the world on an 0-2 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. He got him with the curveball. So for the Panthers, they got 1 run on 1 hit. There were 2 Viking errors, and 2 were left on base. We have played 3.5, and we are all tied at 1 apiece on NLWN-TV.
It is springtime at the Concierge Home Decor and More in Colfax. The Concierge is a small-town decor shop that specializes in home, farmhouse, wedding, nursery, and holiday decor. The Concierge at 225 Bremer Avenue is open from 11 to 5 on Wednesdays through Fridays and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Transform your house into a home with their selection of chic home decor pieces and thoughtful gifts for every occasion. Call the Concierge at 715-704-6008. That's the Concierge Home Decor and More in Colfax.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal them from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Heading into the bottom half of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Leading off for the Vikings is Rob Holman hits a fly ball out into shallow right field, and the right fielder and center fielder collide, but they make the catch. So 1 down. That'll bring up Connor Arntzen, who struck out his last time up. And the pitch. There's a line shot over to third, throw to first in time.
Wow, strong throw. Patiently let that one rip.
And he had to, because that was about as close to the foul line as you can get.
Yeah,
and still be fair.
Yeah.
Brings up Orion Nichols, who singled his last time up. That pitch was high for a ball. And a check swing called strike at the belt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Orion Nichols. Berger delivers. That one missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. There's a pop-up in the infield. Getting under it is Lindstrom. Then coming over from short was Breidung, and he made the catch. So the Vikings have no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we have played 4, and we're all even at 1 on NLWN-TV.
New construction in need of plumbing or older plumbing in need of repair, Logslet Plumbing is the one to call, just like these satisfied customers said.
They did all the plumbing in our new build from start to finish. They are dependable, honest, and easy to work with. They even give suggestions for products that are great quality but inexpensive. We put all our trust in Logslet Plumbing, and they did not disappoint.
A highly skilled plumber, I definitely recommend contacting Logslet Plumbing for any and all your plumbing needs.
So give Logslet Plumbing a call at 715-556-1673 and let Logslet Plumbing get your project flowing.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Top of the 5th inning coming up. Due up for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, Landon Lindstrom, Dylan Berger, and Luke Weber. Still not sure who that number 8 was that did the courtesy running last inning for the Panthers, because that's the number Lindstrom used to wear. He pops this one fair. It's going to fall. No, it's going to get caught. Good hustle that time by Palowitz over there.
I think it bounced, though. He caught it on one bounce.
Oh, well. Yeah. See, I'm looking right through a camera over there, and I could not see it. But that was good hustle. Throw over to first, and Lindstrom's in safely. Dylan Berger grounded into a fielder's choice last time up, forcing Lindstrom at second. Pitch is inside, throw it on to second, and it's not in time. Boy, you can tell it's been pretty dry. There is a cloud of dust every time somebody slides in. Lindstrom started that journey with white pants, and needless to say, they aren't now.
No.
And the pitch, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes to Dylan Berger. And the pitch, ground ball over to short, and it got underneath the glove of Arntzen. And that's going to be an error on Arntzen. That's a good example right there, Joe. Get your body in front of the ball. He tried to field it out off to the side.
Keep his feet moving and a couple more steps to the right.
Back to the top of the order, Luke Weber. Throw over to third as they were trying to get Lindstrom. As the runner went to second. Berger is on second. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. One ball, 1 strike.
Another big spot for Caleb, and he's pitched great.
Curveball missed.
Little high.
2 balls and a strike. Both runners take their lead. And that missed to become 3-1. Now it's a hitter's pitch. Lindstrom on third, Berger on second, Luke Weber at the plate. Weber's 0 for 2. There's a fly ball out into left field. Coming in as Nichols. He can't get there in time, and it falls in. So it's going to be an RBI single for Weber. And it's going to put the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers on top 2-1. Yeah. Moves Berger over to third.
Didn't hit it hard, but
he hit it where they ain't.
Yeah.
Showing bunt. And the runner goes to second. Weber's on second. Berger on third. Weber on second, and there's a called strike to Trace Olson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Olson's 0 for 2. Grounded out and got on an error. There's a fly ball out into center field. Beekner makes the catch, and he quickly gets it back in. It's a sacrifice fly. As Dylan Berger comes in to score. Weber remains on second. And Brett Breidung, with 1 out, is at the plate. He's grounded to short twice. Runner goes, throw to third, not in time. Holman had to kind of double clutch on that to get clear of Breidung and be able to throw it down to third.
Yeah. Weber runs well.
And the pitch. Check swing foul down the first baseline. He was trying to get out of the way of that one, and the ball found the bat. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the pitch. Curveball laced out into center field. That's going to drive in a run.
That curveball stayed up a little bit that time, and good piece of hitting.
So Weber comes in to score with the 3rd run of the inning for the Panthers. Breidung's on first. Jacob Paschal. He's 1 for 2. Single to left his last time up.
Yep, Breidung's, he's going to run, Rick. Can we keep him close?
Bailey throws over to first. That was very close. And the throw and the ball popped out of Holman's hand as he was trying to get out and make the throw. It was a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch is low for a ball.
Yep, good stop.
One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Line shot out into left field for a base hit. Runner rounds third, and he's going to hold up there. The ball comes through the infield, but it's backed up by Brady Elmer. So Paschal having a 2-hit day.
Yeah, they're starting to hit the ball hard.
Breidung at third, Paschal at second. There's a strike called. They're kind of getting the story on Bailey's curveball.
Yeah, they've hit it hard a couple times.
And there's a ground ball foul down the third baseline. No balls and 2 strikes. Bailey delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's going to bring up Jackson Weiss. Or Jackson Weiss, I should say. He's 0 for 2, struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging. There's a strike at the letters. There's the curveball setting up the rest of the at-bat.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Check swing, pop up in the infield. And Palowitz is underneath to make the out. So, for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, they picked up 3 runs. On 4 hits, there was 1 Viking error and 2 left on base, I think. Yes, 2 left on base. So we've played 4.5, and it's the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 4 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
Check out the top quality work by SK Screen Printing and Embroidery in Colfax. SK Screen Printing and Embroidery can help with a wide variety of options, from shirts to sweatshirts and jackets to hats. Call SK Screen Printing and Embroidery at 715-533-1933 for all your group's apparel needs. That's SK Screen Printing and Embroidery in Colfax.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Going into the bottom half of the 5th inning, due up for the Vikings, Grant Cook, Grant Palowitz, and Drew Beekner.
Yeah, it seems like every time we make a mistake, the other team takes advantage. And
yeah, we were talking during that break. I feel badly for Connor Arntzen. He's been playing pretty well at short, but all of a sudden 3 little things have turned into 3 errors.
Yeah.
First pitch to Grant Cook was down low for a ball. Swing and a miss.
I give a lot of credit to this Berger kid, too. He's just settled down and throws strikes.
He kind of had a rough first inning, and he's weathered the storm. Pitch is high and away for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
He's not overpowering, but he pitches.
And the pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play off the right side, or off the left side. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll bring up Grant Palowitz, grounded to second his first appearance. One down. And the first pitch is a called strike. Right at the knees. Berger winds and fires. There's a shot out into right center field, and it's caught out there by Weber. Nice job of ranging over, making the catch.
Yeah, Palowitz hit that hard. Been fun to watch him run. He can really run.
Luke Weber doing a nice job of ranging underneath that one.
A lot of good center fielders in the Dunn-St. Croix.
Speaking of which, we've got one at the bat right now for the Vikings, Drew Buechner. He fouls the first pitch away. You know, actually, that time I appreciate that one because he didn't stand and watch strike one. He went after it. And the pitch. And he fouls that one back out of play. That one right behind us.
Yep. Back in the day, you might have made that play. Huh?
That was a while back. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Curveball missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 5th inning. 2 down, and here's the pitch. That's down low, counts even at 2-2. There's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Go. Chopper down the third base line, it rolls foul. That was one of those you kind of wished it would have had the other spin on it.
Yeah.
Put a little bit too much English on that one. Because he'd have beat that one.
He runs well.
Here's the pitch. That's high for ball 3. Count is full. The wind and the pitch. Pop foul out of play.
Go, kid. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Well, Dan up there on the camera has had a few chances. And once again, he didn't bring his glove with him. He keeps talking about doing that and leaving it at home. And the pitch. That's high and away, ball 4. So Buechner's on base. And as we've said several times, when Buechner's on first, you might as well call it a double.
Yeah, good at bat by Jew. And I think he's going to go.
Caleb Bailey singled his last time up.
A little tougher against the lefty, maybe.
And the pitch, there he goes. And no play at second. Catcher hesitated, I think because Berger didn't get out of the way. Pitch was a called strike to Bailey. Buechner on second. Berger looking in. Check second. And the delivery. That's outside for a ball. It's at the belt. Throw over. The ball goes out into center field. And now they've got Bailey. He got back in. They missed the tag. They had him picked off. And because the center fielder flipped it behind him as Bailey had second thoughts about going to third. And he's very fortunate to still be on second base.
Yep, Buechner.
Or Buechner, yes.
Yep.
Bailey's at the plate. And Bailey pops it up over toward first, and making the catch over there is Pfeiffer. So, for the Vikings, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We've played 5, and it's the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 4 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 15th, when the Vikings host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 15th.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
And we get ready to head into the 6th inning. Caleb Bailey still on the mound for the Vikings.
He's done a good job, Rick.
Say that again, Joe.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He needs a 0 here. Keep us in it.
And then the Viking bats need to help him out a little bit.
Yeah.
Due up for the Panthers, Kraleski, Lindstrom, and Berger. Miles Kraleski has struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging. And the pitch outside for a ball. And there's a curveball that just missed. 2 balls, no strikes. And a ground ball over to short. And he dropped the ball, throws it to first, and it's not in time. That's the unfortunate stuff that Connor Arnson's been going through today over at short. I just believe that those are youthful errors that he's so eager to make a play. He knows this is a big inning. Throw over to first, and it wasn't in time to get Kraleski.
You know, the hard part is if you make a mistake or two, the next one gets a little harder.
Showing bunt. And the throw down to second, Kraleski gets there. He heads to third. Ball got away, and they're going to hang on to it. That's going to be an error on Palowitz over there at second that moved him over to third. So give Kraleski a stolen base, and then he gets third on the error at second. Landon Lindstrom, he's 2 for 2. That pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Pop foul out of play. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It's going to bring up Dylan Berger, is 0 for 2. Grounded into a fielder's choice and got on via an error. First pitch was a called ball. Bailey looks at third and delivers. There's a strike called at the letters. To Dylan Berger. Bailey fires. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. There's a looper out into right field, moving over, making the catch. is Paulus, and the runner does not tag and score.
Surprising.
It's going to take us back to the top of the order. Luke Weber.
I think Coach Hansen wanted him to go, but he just got caught in no man's land.
And the pitch is high. 2 down. Runner on third. Weber is 1 for 3. Singled his last time up. It was an RBI single, and then he came around and scored. There's a ground ball over to second. Palowitz fires first, and they got him.
Good play by Palowitz.
So, Caleb Bailey survives that leadoff error, even though he got over to third with no runs, no hits. There was the one Viking error and 1 left on base. So we've played 5.5, and it's the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 4, Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
YouTube can help support Colfax School Athletics. Simply join us at the Colfax School Athletic Booster Club. The Booster Club is committed to create an environment that inspires student-athletes, coaches, parents, and the community to come together and create a positive and spirited atmosphere. As a member, you'll have the opportunity to plan and participate in exciting club activities like next year's Viking Gala, whose theme is going to be totally rad. The Colfax Booster Club meets on the second Wednesday of every month at the Viking Bowl. Come and check us out.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Well, time's running a little bit short here for the Vikings. We head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Vikings trailing by 3, 4-1. Due up for the Vikings, Zach Hedela, Brady Elmer, Rob Holman. Hedela has a 2-hit day going for him. He doubled and singled both to center field.
He looks good up there.
He hit the ball really hard. That single, I think it actually got out to the center fielder too fast.
Yeah, 2 good swings.
Here's the wind in the pitch. That was inside for a ball.
You know, Palowitz saved a run with a nice play there at the end of the last inning. Going to his right.
Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a strike called at the knees. You're right about Berger on the mound for the Panthers. He's gained his confidence and really moved along here. Strike 2 called. He came into the game with a 2.25 earned run average and a whip of 1.45. Here's the pitch. There's another hard hit ball, but that one's right at Breidung. That's going to bring up Brady Elmer, who's grounded to second twice.
It's a great sign, though. Hedela hitting the ball right on the nose.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball right at Breidung.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Chased the high heat that time. That was about chin height. Here's the wind in the 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled back into the screen. 2 strikes now to Brady Elmer. Vikings need base runners. And the pitch. Curveball missed. That one totally got away from Berger.
Let's go, Brady.
Here's the wind in the pitch. Inside for a ball. The wind and the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. It's going to bring up Rob Holman. He's 1 for 2. Singled to center and flew out to right. And the first pitch, that one's chopped foul.
Yep, off his leg.
He flexes it a little bit. Only hurts for a minute until later tonight. There's the wind in the pitch. Swung on and missed. He chased the curveball that time.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes.
He's got a battle. Got a battle.
And the 0-2 pitch. That's high and away. One ball and 2 strikes. 2 down. Here's the wind of the 1-2 pitch. That's inside for a ball.
How many pitches do you think Berger's thrown, Rick? If you had to estimate.
Well, he's gotten much more efficient after that first inning.
Yeah.
That pitch is high and away.
He's got to be getting close to 100, though.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We're in the 6th. And strike 3 went down looking. I would say he's up in the 80s somewhere. So for the Vikings, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we've played 6. It's the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 4 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
Kyle's Market in Colfax, locally owned since 2007 and is a proud supporter of Colfax High School Scholarship and Athletics. Kyle's Meat Department is second to none and they're known for their homemade smoked meats. Don't forget the fresh veggies, cheese, and frozen foods. Kyle's Market has got it all. Kyle's Market is your hometown market where customer service is supersized. They'll even carry your groceries out to your car. That's Kyle's Market in Colfax.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
We go to the 7th. Vikings trailing 4-1. Due up for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, Trace Olson, Brett Breidung, and Jacob Paschal. And if ever they needed to, Joe, Vikings need to put a goose egg on the board this half inning.
Yeah, they do. And if they can get to the top of the order, I think they got a chance. But a goose egg would be huge.
Let's move that microphone a little bit here. There we go. That'll make you sound like you're somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Trace Olson at the plate. He is 0 for 2. Grounded out, got out on an air, and then hit a sacrifice fly. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Beekner's underneath, and he makes a catch. That's the other thing that Caleb Bailey needs, because we're in the late innings. He needs to be very efficient with the outs this inning. Brett Breidung.
I sure like him though, Rick. He just pitches. He doesn't get frustrated.
There's a line shot out into center field for a base hit.
Throws strikes.
That's a second hit to center by Breidung.
Yeah, he's a good hitter.
He's 2 for 4 on the day. And it brings up Jacob Paschal, who's 2 for 3. Grounded out, singled, and then doubled his last time up. Bailey throws over to first.
Yeah, he's going to run again.
You know, Bailey makes a pretty nice
he does.
throw over to first. He's putting the ball right where Brady Elmer basically just needs to catch it and move the glove a fraction of an inch. Fly ball out into center field. Beekner going back. And the ball went off the fence, and it's...
Oh, he hit that hard.
The runner held at third.
Oh, okay.
So Beekner is now behind the plate. So looking to see who's out in center field. The pitch is outside. And there's a fly ball out into center field, ranging back. And that's off the fence. One run's in. Here comes the second run towards the plate. And Beekner couldn't hang on to the ball. Runner goes to third. So give Fuentes a double to center field, and then he went to third on the play. 2 RBI.
Courtesy running for Fuentes.
We have a courtesy runner in there for Fuentes. Again, it's number 8 that we don't have the name of.
Yeah.
A.J. Wick is the guy's name. I didn't have him on my roster. That's why we didn't have it. I think what we have is Connor Arntzen has moved over to second. Nope, Connor Arntzen's still over at
he's still at
short. Whoever's out there playing center field is playing very deep. Jackson Weiss at the plate. Check swing foul. 2 balls and a strike.
I think they just switched Beekner and Holman, I think, Rick.
That might be.
Yeah.
And the pitch. There's a ground ball over to third. Foul ball. Just barely. Had it been fair, I think Cook would have made the play.
Yeah.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runs in.
Coach Anderson wanted to slow up that running game, I think, and made the switch.
And there's a ground ball over to short. It handcuffed Arntzen, and safe at first is Jackson Weiss. And coming in to score is Aiken Fuentes. 3rd run of the inning. Makes it 7-1. There's a pop-up. Out into shallow right field. Paulus trying to make the catch. He doesn't. He made a good effort at it, and it fell in. So, Kraleski is on safely at first. And that's going to bring up Landon Lindstrom. Lindstrom's 2 for 3. Runners at first and second. And that missed outside for a ball. And the pitch. There's a ground ball through the hole into left field. They round third, send the runner to the plate. Here comes the throw. Beekner! No, he's safe. He got past Beekner, couldn't hang on to the ball. So give Lindstrom a single to left. He went to second on the play at the plate as Jackson Weiss came in to score. And we're going to have a conference at the mound.
Yeah, it's too bad it's gotten away from us a little bit, Rick. Played well for a long time.
Looks like Rob Holman is going to take the hill. And we'll get that all figured out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV. So let's
let NLWN-TV take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 18th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Hudson River Rats from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 18th on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
So the new pitcher for the Vikings is Rob Holman, who delivers a strike to Dylan Berger. Has a curveball strike at the letters. Numbers on Caleb Bailey, he went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 8 runs, 5 of which were earned. 11 hits. There's a fly ball out into center field, or right field. Paulus under it. He makes a catch. He struck out 6 and did not walk anybody. So with the exception of this last inning, he had a pretty effective outing. Back to the top of the order, Luke Weber. And the pitch. Curveball missed.
Yeah, it's too bad. He looked good, Rick, and got away from us late.
There's a strike called at the knees. Holman at the belt, and he delivers. That one's high. And there's a pop foul. Arntzen is still at short. They made some position changes. There's a shot over toward second, flip
nice
to
play.
first. That was Arntzen at second. And
nice play.
So Weber's out 4-3, but not before the damage is done. 4 runs on 5 hits. There was 1 Viking error, and they had 2 left on base. So We've played 6.5. We go to the bottom of the 7th with the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers leading the Vikings 8-1 on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform and attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal them from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Going into the bottom of the 7th inning, Connor Arntzen at the plate for the Vikings. The first pitch was outside for a ball on his way. The coach has said, find a way on.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Strike one. Vikings need base runners.
Yeah.
Trailing 8-1.
Keep battling, keep fighting, have a good at bat, and be a good teammate.
You know, they got to get 21 outs before it's over.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball back to the mound. Berger fields it and flips it over to first for the out. But you know what? If you're making contact, that's important. At least you're going down fighting. Ryan Nichols, he's 1 for 2. Singled and then popped to short. Pitch is a called strike at the letters.
You know, Berger's in, out, mixes it up, and it's been really effective.
He's got nice control. He's got a couple curveballs that got away from him, but that one's down low. But you don't want to throw everything as a strike.
No, that's for sure. Only a sophomore.
Here's the wind and the 1-1 pitch. There's a line shot foul down the right field line. Made nice contact that time. One ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Nichols. Strike 3 called. That one was actually pretty much right down the middle of Main Street. All right, the Vikings down to their final out. Grant Cook, 0 for 2, victim of a strikeout each time. And the pitch. There's a ground ball over to third. Fire over to first, and it pulled him off the base, and Grant Cook is on. Little 2-out rally would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it, Joe?
Yeah, he hit it hard.
That brings up Grant Palowitz. He's 0 for 2, grounded to second, and flew out to center field.
Yeah, hit that ball to center hard. He's got some potential too, Rick.
Yeah, he does. And the pitch. There's another fly ball out to center, and that may have burned him.
No.
And he made the catch. He came in, turned, and was able to recover enough to jump up and make the catch. So that's going to do it. Final score, the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 8 and the Vikings 1. Winning pitcher in this game is Dylan Berger, losing pitcher Caleb Bailey, and we will have more when it comes to Viking Download on NLWN-TV.
Thank you for joining us for today's Colfax Vikings baseball game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. This has been presented for the private listening and viewing use of the TuneIn audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is strictly prohibited. Stay tuned! Coming up next is Viking Download, where we take a look back at today's Colfax Viking game.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Time now for Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
And we're back here at Colfax High School on Parents' Night for Colfax Vikings. Unfortunately for the parents, the Vikings dropped an 8-1 decision to the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. The Panthers had 8 runs on 11 hits. They only committed 2 errors. Vikings had 1 run on 5 hits. And again, their bugaboo was they committed 5 errors. Winning pitcher was Dylan Berger. He went the distance. And Caleb Bailey is the losing pitcher, who actually had a pretty good outing until into the 7th inning when he just kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah. I think, Rick, the scores deceiving. It was, 1-1 for a long time, and our mistakes let them get into their running game, and they put a little separation between us. But I thought Bailey threw well, and, some bright spots. Zach Hila swung the bat good, and we had 5 or 6 early hits.
We had a couple players, I believe, that had multiple hit games. Hila went 2 for 3, and as I'm looking here, well, he's the only one that had multiple hit games. Drew Beekner hit a double, but he went 1 for 2.
Yeah.
And Caleb Bailey went 1 for 3.
Holman and Nichols had hits, too. I think I had them for 6 hits. But
yeah, Nichols went 1 for 3.
Yep.
And Rob Holman went 1 for 3. So
yeah,
you're right. It was 6 hits.
Yeah, they got to keep fighting. I see some potential, and I still think they're going to get a win this week.
Well, we're going to wait for Coach Anderson and the Parents' Day activities. We will bring you the Parents' Day activities, and we're going to wait for Coach Anderson to come by right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 15th, when the Vikings host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 15th.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and we are joined by Coach Anderson right ahead of the Parents' Day festivities. Tough one because you were in this until the very late innings.
Yeah, we're playing okay, playing well in sections of games, 2-3 innings at a crack, and we just can't put a whole game together, and we can't survive with a few errors. That hurts us. So we got to play a pretty clean game with our bats, and just haven't been able to do that. So, but got guys in positions that don't normally play there, and moving guys around, and but I like the way we fought. So
let's take just a brief moment here, and if you'll just set that microphone down there and face it that way, don't turn it off. And we'll pick up the Parents' Day celebration.
Cole Parzak, son of Wolf and Amber Parzak.
I'm not a flower person.
Brady Elmer, son of Scott and Laura Elmer. Evan and Grant Cook, son of Barry and Emily Cook. Grant Paulus, son of Grant and Ashley Paulus. Mason Smith, son of Susan Smith and Dan Smith. Jace Hinsman, son of Thea Hinsman and the late Jared Hinsman. Zach and Braden Hila, son of John and Kristen Hila. Ryan Nichols, son of Jason and April Nichols. Wyatt Flatland, son of Matt and Stacy Flatland. Connor Arnston, son of Brady and Deanna Arnston. Rob Holman, son of Daniel and Melissa Holman. Caleb Bailey, son of Tim and Krista Bailey. All right, did I forget anybody? That's all I got on my list.
Thank you, parents.
All right, thanks, parents, for all that you guys do for the.
And so we have recognition of parents, and rejoining us now is Ben Anderson, and as the Vikings dropped an 8-1 decision to the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, Caleb Bailey had a strong outing until looked like he just ran out of gas in the 7th inning.
Yeah, no, he pitched well.
Yeah.
Needed him to throw a bunch of pitches. We're 3 games in 4 days is really tough for us. So needed him to throw well, and he did. He's every time I've asked him to throw well, he's come out and done fantastic. For a sophomore, he's out there battling, working hard. Never gets down.
Shows no frustration and just pitches.
Just keeps rolling, right? And that's been fantastic for us. Throwing strikes. I don't know. I don't think he walked anybody. If he did, not very many. So, and that's what we needed. I thought he was going to get a complete game out of him, and he was close. So he's been fantastic for us.
It was good to see Zach Gila hitting the ball with authority. He went 2 for 3, and even the one that was an out was a hard hit line shot.
Yeah, that the shortstop. Yep, for sure. No, he hit it hard. Drew got a hold of it, hit it real hard one time. We need those guys to pick us up and run for us for a while, and I'd love to see that. They've been showing signs of hitting the ball hard, and it's just been right at people at times. So
he had 6 hits early and then kind of cooled, but
right. And we've seen this pitcher down there. He pitched against us down in Durand and scored 2 runs on him in the first down there, and couldn't scratch anymore. And same today. So.
We give him a lot of credit. He battled too.
Battles. Yep. He didn't walk very many, if he did walk any at all either. And he just throws
one,
strikes.
But
he throws a little bit of a curveball, keeps you off balance a little bit with that, and
pitches to soft contact.
Yep.
And he's got good control. He does a nice job of moving the ball around in the zone.
For sure. Yeah. He hits inside corner, outside corner. I heard that a lot. Kids coming back going, that was inside, so he's moving around, and they got a good defense behind him. They don't make many errors, and that's,
they made a total of 2.
2, right? So, so that's huge,
And again, the Vikings, as we said before you got here, the Vikings bugaboo today, they committed 5 errors. And I felt bad for Connor Arntzen because he got handcuffed on a number of balls.
He had a lot of hard hit balls at him, and
he made a couple nice plays.
Started, and I went to him. He was a little frustrated. And I said, "Hey, you started off the game really strong." And what I love is that I moved him to second, and he made a great play to end the half of the inning at second base, and showed that he can keep his head in it and keep rolling. So
he's got some potential.
He's got some real good potential. I told him, you're a sophomore playing, and he's got high expectations, which is fine, But I got to remember that we shouldn't have a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing, and we do.
And you've got a young team, and not taking anything away from your seniors or anything, but some of those young guys have a lot of potential that, as they gain in experience, this might be a team to deal with in a couple of years.
For sure. No, I think it's. For the seniors, we definitely want to get some wins. I got some great seniors, and I want to see them win some games bad. That's what frustrates me probably the most. But I do like to see what's coming up. I think we've got some good numbers coming in next year, and we've got good talent here. Rob Ketchin's been fantastic for us. Caleb Pitchin, sophomore, fantastic.
And Rob will get better at getting runners at second as he gets bigger and stronger.
He's a freshman. It's 100% I expect it. But his blocking is fantastic back there, and he's been spectacular for us. So
Grant Palowitz gets better every game.
He has.
He hit the ball hard a couple times.
He's hit the ball really hard. He's starting to make some plays. Grant Paul's out and right. Like he's making plays that he wasn't making in the beginning of the year, right? Hustle. I got after him a little bit earlier in the season about a few balls that he didn't go after, and now he's running hard after everything, making plays. He dropped the one that was he was busting for. That was a tough one to make, but he's making the plays that he should be making at least. So that's awesome to see. We got guys. We just need to put a whole game together. If we can get by with the game with 2 errors like they did, we can win a game.
Yeah, so, keep fighting, keep staying with it.
Keep battling. That's all we can do. And keep chins up and heads up, and we'll keep rolling.
Yeah. Now, Thursday, weather permitting, you have Glenwood City, and over there, I made the journey over to Glenwood City to watch that game, and you guys had some chances. You gave up a big lead early, and you battled back, and if I'm not mistaken, you had the tying run on base when that game ended.
We did, I think we were down 6 or 7 to 1, and then we battled back and made it 8-6 at the end. We had bases loaded in the 6th, and a little bit of a controversial call. We had a pitch. Their pitcher was balking every time he threw it. That wouldn't get called when we had bases loaded, and that a little bit of frustration on our part, and which probably didn't help out the player part as much either. It runs
Yeah, I
into
do
it.
remember
And,
Coach DeMoe having a few words with the umpire.
Yep, and it was a
Hey, what's baseball without a little bit of that once in a while?
You got to have it, stick up for your guys, right? And we just wanted it called correctly if we could, and recognition. So, and they did talk to us after the game and thought they should have maybe called it. So that's tough too. So, but
that almost hurts even more.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Then if you think you should have called it, then call it.
Yeah, 8-6, bases loaded, and he balks like 4 times in a row on us, right? So, not that I want to win by balks or anything like that. I want us to earn a victory, but still, we're right there. We got a chance. It's a team that we can hang with. If that's every game. It's been either 2-1 or right there, and it's just a bad inning that gets us. So we'll keep working.
And you hung with the Panthers today. Much more entertaining and better performance than yesterday.
For sure. I told the guys that they improved, and that's the name of the game for us at high school ball is kids having their head in the game. So we're working at it. We're battling, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So
okay, we're gonna send you off to Glenwood City, and thank you for joining us. And we'll be back and wrap things up here on Viking Download right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Well, today the Vikings dropped an 8-1 decision to the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, they just got to keep fighting, just like Coach said. And, we see a lot of good things, Rick, and just that big mistake that giving up a timely hit and not getting timely hits themselves. But, they're going to get a win. They're going to, we just got to.
And you're right. You and I, we both see a lot of good things. It's just a matter of putting all the good things together in the same game.
Yeah.
And that's not always an easy thing to do, and they're trying. A young team, and they'll come around.
We talk baseball can change in an instant, and I think it is for us. I think we keep fighting, good things can happen.
And we'll have a chance at some good things happening coming up on Thursday. Again, we say weather permitting, as the Vikings will take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. First pitch is scheduled for 5 o'clock, and our coverage on NLWN-TV will begin with the In the Bullpen show starting at 4:40, and live play-by-play action will follow. Following that, we have, at the same time, the Viking girls softball team's next game will be on Thursday. Again, that's weather permitting, when the Vikings will host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Their first pitch is also at 5 o'clock. The Viking boys and girls track teams will host the Boyceville track meet on Thursday. Those events beginning at 4 p.m. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-TV on Sunday the 18th as we bring you the Eau Claire Cavaliers taking on the Hudson River Rats. And the In the Dugout show is going to start at 12:30, and that'll be followed by live play-by-play action. It's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 18th on NLWN-TV. Be sure to join us on NLWN2 for our coverage of vintage baseball as we bring you the Menominee Blue Caps playing baseball. That's in the style of the 1860s. If you've never seen it, it's a lot of fun to watch. That'll be on Monday, June 23rd when we broadcast it to you. We'll bring you the coverage that we'll have had from the previous weekend of the Blue Caps taking on the Flat Rock Bear Clan out of Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. All that taking place at the Menominee Baseball Festival. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock on NLWN2 on Monday, June 23rd. Today's Colfax Viking baseball game has been brought to you by Anderson Bridges, the Colfax Schools Booster Club, the Chippewa Valley Museum, Concierge, Home Decor, and more. Dairy State Bank, Clucas Electric, Kyle's Market, Logslet Plumbing, Menominee Eye and Optical, Midwest Environmental Consultants, Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, SK Screen Printing and Embroidery, the Viking Bowl, and Woods Run Forest Products. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking baseball on NLWN-TV. So, for Ben Ryder on the computer, Joe Doucette sitting on my left side here giving us all his wisdom. Dan Petschow on the camera. This is Rick Olson. That final score once again. Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 8, Vikings 1 on... You've been watching Viking Download on NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.